So we need to talk about Elon Musk. And listen, as somebody who listens to both left-leaning and right-leaning podcasters and media and pundits, I try to be balanced because what I've noticed is somebody who's newer to the political sphere, and by newer, I just mean like 3 to 5 years in the game. What I've noticed is that typically people on both the right and the left, they only talk about what that person or what that party is doing that they agree with. They only praise that side, but they almost never criticize them, or they never really just critique them on very serious matters, such as Donald Trump just announcing that America's going to be taking over and owning the Gaza Strip, which a lot of Trump supporters are not fans of. It's not America first. It's not what he ran on. He never said he was going to do that, but it's not surprising to me because Donald Trump, just like President Biden, just like every other president, has always bowed to Israel. For whatever odd reason, they're never critical of Israel. Israel can never do wrong. They all support them. Does no one find that strange? Republicans and Democrats, you disagree and you are at each other's necks and you want to completely destroy each other's reputation, but you're all on the same page when it comes to Israel. How convenient. But most of the other things that Trump has been doing, I agree with. I've been liking what I'm seeing. The executive order banning men, biological men, from competing against biological women in sports, and, executive orders claiming that there are only two, stating that there are only two genders. The fact that he even has to do such simple things that mean so much to so many people in 2025 is already ludicrous that we've stooped so low in this society, but that's just where we are. But one of the things I don't agree with Trump on is Elon Musk. That dude scares me, and I've always looked at him side-eye, and a lot of Trump supporters, and I don't necessarily consider myself a Trump supporter, so to speak, even though I agree and I lean more so towards the right as compared to the left. And like I said, somebody who's newer to the space, when I listen to a lot of conservative values, it just aligns more so with my values than the left, and it's not even close. But Elon Musk, something weird is going on with that guy, and I'm telling you all, he's a wolf in sheep clothing. In my last video, I talked about the Grammys, and I talked about how Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, a lot of other people are wolf in sheep's clothing. They're controlled opposition. Elon Musk is another one of those people, because while I agree with the concept of Doge and what him and Vivek Ramaswamy put together, even though Vivek Ramaswamy is no longer a part of it, I support it, and I support the purpose of why it was put together. And even all of the reports that's come out stating what our taxpaying dollars have been going to over the past few years further proves that Doge and its purpose is necessary.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
But I gotta admit, several people have made very good points as to how Elon Musk having access to our federal government, as somebody who's from Africa, as somebody who has not been vetted, is a bit suspicious.
Do you know why they went after access to the federal government's payment system?
I have no idea, but I don't have any positive thoughts when it comes down to it. I appreciate that you played the clip of Jamie Raskin, and as Congressman Raskin asked, why do you need access? I mean, here it is. I'm a wholly, fully elected member of Congress. I don't have that kind of access. So when you start talking about who should have access to literally the system that controls approximately $6 trillion of our dollars, I don't really understand, because the people that worked in those positions could only distribute money per the law. So why is it that the Doge Committee would have to have access? And that's not the place that you go to look for cuts. You look at our budget, which it is Congress that has the power of the purse. You look at our budget, you help the president come up with his proposed budget, and then the House and the Senate will decide what we send to his desk, and he gets to decide whether or not he signs it into law. He should not have access to this. And with people already having angst about Elon Musk and the things that he does as it relates to technology, this is not instilling anything more than another layer of fear, especially since normally when you are going to be in a position like that, you have to go through security clearances. And let me tell you, some people think security clearances are all about whether or not you have a warrant or not. No, they look at whether or not you have some sort of divided interest. They look at whether or not you have good credit. They look at so many other things. And we're talking about someone who's unelected, unvetted, and definitely unconfirmed that is now literally sitting atop our $6 trillion, and we don't know what it is that he's doing, and we honestly don't know what role he has.
And the biggest part is a lot of people don't even know where Elon Musk came from. We all know that Elon Musk is a very smart guy. But when you think about it, because a lot of people who support Trump, not all of them, but a lot of them are Christians, Christian conservatives. And I'm not saying that you can only support a person as a Christian conservative if they're Christian. But if a person is standing for something that is quite literally anti-God, I don't see how you can stand for that person. That's a lot of the problems that we have with the left, right? Abortion and claiming that there are more genders than just male and female when we know that's against the Bible. Well, you got to look at Elon Musk and you got to question yourself, what is this dude's purpose? Like, what is his true purpose, right? Not to mention when it comes to his parents, it gets even more weird. His dad apparently had 2 children by his own stepdaughter. Elon's mother, it gets even more weird with her. She was apparently a model in the industry, and as you can see here, has all this one-eye symbolism, and we've talked about that several times on this channel. Only occultists take pictures like this. Not to mention that she also was featured in a Beyonce video with all the weird symbolism in the video as well. What are the chances and what's the coincidence that his parents are closely tied to these people? I saw this video that is one of the creepiest videos I've ever seen of this lady. I want you all to take a listen to this lady who's claiming to have been Elon Musk's nanny when he was much younger. And at the time, Elon Musk went by a different name. I want you all to take a listen, but before we go over to the video, if you're new to the show, please know we're thirsty to grow and to drink some of this energy drink. You can help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you a second to do that. Help me out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now listen, take a listen to what this woman had to say.
God bless you. I'm Shalom Girl on YouTube. I love Jesus Christ. He saved me. I want to tell you something. I'm an old lady, kind of. I'm 55. I was born in San Francisco in 1965. When I was a girl, I was in San Francisco. I was procured and sent to work for a family. There were 3 generations. There was a boy, the boy's mother, and the boy's grandfather. They were coming from Africa. They were white as me. I thought they'd be black. They were coming from Africa. And because of something the boy did, I never told what he did. The boy did something very dark when he was very little. And I was just coming to know Jesus. And Jesus saved me. And anyway, the boy did something very dark. And I never told him what he did. And then one day I asked someone in the circle, Imelda, Joaquin's mother. I asked Imelda, I said, is he the Antichrist? I was 13 years old. She didn't even blink. She said, no, but he will present the mark. And when you see him do that, the Antichrist will take the stage. So, now here we are, 40 years later. Boom, that boy is the star of the world. He's the king of the world, but Jesus Christ is the king of my heart. Okay. The boy's name then was Elon, but it's changed over time. But we're 40 years later, and I see that boy everywhere, and the world adores him, but He's the king of Babylon. And I'm going to call you out, choose you this day whom you will serve. Be it God, serve him. Be it the king of Babylon, serve him.
I have to say I don't know who this person is and if it's been verified that she truly was who she's saying that she is, and I don't know. So this video could be very fake. But it was something about that video that gave me conviction, and I wanted to share it with you all. But I also wanted to state that a lot of what she's saying makes sense, right? Because even though she never said what that action was he did that made her feel like he was the Antichrist, let's just take a step back. Conservative, liberal, wherever you fall, let's just take a step back for a sec and just take a look, an objective look at Elon Musk, all right? Neuralink, very smart guy. I believe January 30th of 2024 was the date that they implanted the first chip into a human brain. Let's think about that. Merging technology with the human creation, with the human species, is already very, very terrifying, especially as a Christian, because I don't like the thought of that. Being able to control your phone from a chip in your brain. I don't like that. And I understand, like, we fear what we don't understand. A lot of our older generation feared the internet, and I think they had good reason to fear it. We understand it better than they do. But I think this is different. When you're talking about planting chips in people's brains and being able to control technology, when you're talking about creating robots, they're in the works of creating robots, just like from the movie Will Smith, I, Robot. They're talking about doing that. Human-like robots in real life. They're talking about wanting to implant Neuralinks chips into the brains of prisoners so that they can monitor them better. We're not property, bro. That's insanity. The human species is not property. I just feel like this guy, Elon Musk, is a very smart dude. So therefore, he has ulterior motives that we don't quite understand. Because a lot of people know, it's not a secret, he used to be a Democrat, and he's notoriously and consistently talked about why it is that he shifted. Everybody is allowed to change politically, personally, spiritually. I get it. But Elon Musk and what he stands for is and has been rubbing me the wrong way. And I'm just going to be honest, I'm truly terrified for our society. I'm truly terrified for what it looks like. I don't trust him. Now, the Democrats have additional reasons to not like Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They're using terms like white supremacists and other things that I don't subscribe to. But at the same time, outside of them just not liking the fact that a lot of these things are being exposed by Democrats and what they've been using our tax money for, there's an additional reason outside of that all of us as Americans should be looking at this guy, Elon Musk, and saying, get this guy out of the way. Like, or either get him out of the way or closely monitor him or set certain guardrails in place so that this man don't have access or don't have the power to do something that quite literally removes Congress and our checks and balance system, because we have to have a system. And if we don't have it, we are quite literally putting the trust in a person that's not only just like Ben Shapiro, who's talking about this dual citizenship for Israel just as much as he's for America. Elon Musk is another person who is one of, if not the richest men in the world, could have other interests tied into why or why he's doing what he's doing and a way that he can benefit from it. I'm not smart enough to know the ins and out of it. I'm not on YouTube or on social media to pretend like it. But as an American citizen, as a person with a brain, I'm looking at this person and I'm saying, he's evil. I think that he's evil. I don't think all of a sudden you're standing with all these Christian conservatives and you just want what's best for society. I truly don't believe that. I don't. But those are my thoughts. I just wanted to bring that to you all and just let you know what's been sitting on my heart and my mind. Something about Elon Musk isn't sitting right. And I don't know how I feel about America in the next couple of years. I'm truly skeptical of that guy on a very high level. But y'all up in the comment section, let me know what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by DD. That's all for this one, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah. DD got a podcast.